Inappropriate Behavior by
Mike,
Brittany.
Nate.
Jones defines inappropriate behavior as any behavior that seriously interferes with other students' ability to engage in learning.
How can inappropriate behavior affect the classroom?
Josh! I told you to stop!
How should teachers respond to inappropriate behavior?
Josh, can I see you in the hallway, please?
According to Scott, 90-10 rule, 90% of teachers look for bad behaviors, while the other 10% look for good behaviors. It is critical to look for good behaviors as well as bad. Good behaviors can be used as models for other students who may not be expressing good behaviors.
Further action, developing a behavior plan.
Two criteria of a behavior plan. Behavioral problems are best addressed when the cause of the behavior is known, and cause can be determined best when a functional assessment of the student behavior is conducted. Behavior interventions based on positive intervention strategies are more effective in changing maladaptive behavior than are punitive strategies. Such intervention strategies should be well thought out, implemented in a systematic fashion, and evaluated periodically so that changes can be made when needed.
Building an effective behavior plan.
It is important to retrieve background knowledge of the student because many things can cause behavioral problems. It may be an issue at home or that they are being bullied on the way to school. Do not jump to conclusions. You must find out any beneficial information before continuing with a behavioral plan. Baseline data must be recorded in the student's natural setting. You want to observe them in their most comfortable environment. They should not know about the data collection. This can cause behavioral changes that may cause the study to be invalid.
Baseline data, target behavior, data, reinforcers.
After the target behavior is identified, it should be defined precisely, including both examples of the behavior and non-examples. It needs to be precise enough that another observer knows exactly what they are looking for. Vague definitions of the target behavior may also cause the study to be invalid. How you doing today, Josh?
I'm okay.
Good. I just got a couple things I want to talk to you about. I've been observing you the last couple days, and I realized that you're doing some inappropriate behaviors that are causing your peers to become off task as well. And I think that I gave you enough warnings, and now it's time to implement a plan to help get rid of those unwanted behaviors. So if there's anything that I could do to help you remember, do you have any ideas of things that I could bring or do to help you remember to stay on task?
I'd like to play with the iPad more.
The iPad more?
Yeah.
So use that as a goal. If you reach your goal throughout the week, then you get some extra iPad time?
Okay.
Okay.
Behavior contracts.
Steps to developing a behavior contract. 1. Agreement between two or more parties indicating how a student will behave. Explaining the consequence and reinforcement. Number 3. Provide students a structure to follow to act successful. Reinforcers should be determined by the student. A student will react better towards something that they really want, not something that they may not. Avoid food and stickers. These may be successful at first, but they soon lose their motivational purpose. Josh, I've called you over to my desk today because I have to talk to you about your behavior.
Okay.
Do you know what behavior I'm talking about?
Maybe.
Yeah, I think it's when you're poking and taking pencils and pens away from your peers, because we can't keep having that happen, because it's a little distracting. So what we're going to do is talk about a behavior contract today. So we've already talked about the reason that we're doing this contract, and then you know you're responsible for the behavior of bothering your peers. And then if you do not bother your peers during math and science class, at the end of the week you will get to play on the iPad for a longer period of time.
That
Okay?
sounds good.
Good. So what we're going to do is I'm going to have you fill in the blanks here, and then you're going to sign it and I'm going to sign it. So that way we're both responsible for your behavior. Okay?
Okay.
Okay. Social reinforcers, activity reinforcers, and consequences.
According to Jones in Comprehensive Classroom Management, reinforcement is something that happens after behavior that makes the behavior more likely to occur again. Reinforcers can take many forms, including tangible items such as stickers or small prizes, and intangible motivators such as social activities or special privileges. Whenever activity reinforcers are used, they should be paired with a social reinforcement, so that the social reinforcement may gradually acquire some of the reinforcing properties associated with the activity reinforcer. Reinforcers include being group leader, going first, running errands, collecting materials, helping clean up, getting a sit where he or she wants to, taking care of class pets, leading the flag salute, telling a joke to the class, or being in a skit. It is important to describe the behavior being praised. Rather than saying that's nice, Bill, when Bill listens attentively, you might say, Bill, I appreciate the way you're listening to the discussion. It should help you do well on the assignment. When a student who demonstrates a high rate of irresponsible behavior demonstrates a positive behavior, we should try to reinforce this behavior immediately. Activity reinforcement. Involvement in various preferred activities is another natural and easily dispensable reward for desirable behavior. The first step in activity reinforcement is to list activities that students find reinforcing. Students enjoy being involved in this process and often offer creative and surprising ideas. The second step is to develop a contract stipulating what the student must do to obtain the activity reinforcer. Josh, can you please come up here? Hey bud, I've been really impressed by your behavior this week. You've been following through on your contract, and I'm really happy with you. And because of that, I think you've earned yourself some iPad time.
Cool.
Social reinforcement refers to behaviors of other people that tend to increase the frequency with which a student emits a behavior. If a smile from you is followed by students continuing to work on an assignment, the smile may have served as a social reinforcer. Similarly, if a child consistently returns to a group after having been chased away, the attention inherent in being chased may be viewed as a social reinforcer. Social reinforcements can be used either as a spontaneous teaching strategy for influencing students' behaviors or as a reinforcement in a contract. Among the many types of social reinforcement, the most obvious involves saying positive things to students. When giving social reinforcement, be careful not to use the same word or phrase constantly. Students appreciate different creative expressions of encouragement and appreciation, as like, good, that's right, excellent, that's clever, good job, good thinking, that shows a great deal of work, you're really paying attention, and smiling, winking, nodding, head up and down, looking interesting, laughing, and shaking hands are all good expressions you can use too, as well as walking together, sitting together, eating lunch together are good social contacts. Teachers should initially use social and activity reinforcers that are a normal part of the school day are available to all students. Furthermore, since research supports the benefits of focusing on positive behavior, whenever possible, consequences in the form of curtailments of activities should be used only after natural reinforcers have proved ineffective in helping a student change the behavior. Special thanks to Josh and Alyssa Winkle.
Who may not be expression good behaviors.
Expressing.
It says expression.
I know, that's why I was going to tell you that earlier, but...
Okay, so
After behavior that makes the behavior more likely to occur again. Reinforcers can take many forms, including tangible items such as